No, in 2 weeks' time we'll hopefully be celebrating a first All-Ireland football final victory for Cork in 20 years. We're only 2 weeks away until the big game against Down, and I'm pleased to say we're joined on the line now by former Cork captain Joe Kavanagh. Joe, I suppose you'd have to hope really that these 2 weeks would be one of the areas where Cork might have some kind of an advantage, because they've had the experience of the whole hype and build up a couple of times now, whereas it's all new to Down. And having played in a couple of finals yourself, Joe, how important is it to know what's involved on All-Ireland final day, because there's obviously a lot of stuff going on off the field in the build-up?
There is. It's a huge advantage. I mean, as you said, it's their third final in 3 or 4 years now, I think 4 years, so it's a massive advantage, because the whole hype about, you've guys coming down rigging you out for suits, you have the ticket problems, so this will be all new to the Down guys, whereas Cork will be able to park that, deal with it themselves, and look forward to the final.
Yeah, Joe, can that kind of thing genuinely have an effect on players in the lead up to a game like this? I mean, could it potentially put a guy off his game on the day, because there's a lot of sideshows going on, as you mentioned, with the media looking for interviews and people looking for tickets and all that type of thing?
It could do, and it doesn't matter how experienced you are. Probably the more high profile fella you are, the more people are looking for you. But I think the last number of years, these open nights which they had there last week, they're a good idea, because you invite the crowd down, you invite the media down to do what you want to do, lads. The guys are there, they're open to you, talk, ask them what you want, and that's it. Park it there and let them alone then for the next 2 weeks, and they can get on with concentrating on the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Joe, looking at Down last weekend, they played some absolutely cracking stuff at times against Kildare, and it looks like it could be a very, very good game in 2 weeks' time. How impressed were you with Down, Joe, and where do you think they'll cause Cork most problems?
I'm very impressed with them. I mean, after the Kerry game, this is when we began to take notice of them, and I suppose after the Kildare game, people were hoping it would have been a Kildare victory, because we'd probably have the measure of them, but this Down team are phenomenal all over the field. I think they're massive in midfield, and they were missing Rose Rogers, their main midfielder. This guy Peter Fitzgerald came in for him and did very well. So they have cover there, like Cork do, I suppose. But up front, they're on fire. I mean, Danny Hughes there, he's like Paul Galvin. He's in on break with him ball. You have Clark, who the ball just seems to stick. He sprays passes all over the place, and then of course you have Benny Coulter. So they're dangerous all over the field, and Cork are going to be up against it big time.
Yeah, no, in terms of Cork's preparation, Joe, I suppose it'll be interesting to see what team Conor Coonan starts with for the final. When you look at the impact the subs made against Dublin and against Roscommon as well, would you expect changes, or do you think he'll stick with the same 15? I'd
say we won't actually know till before throwing, because earlier in the season that was one of their plies, that they just threw out a 15 and you just didn't know until you were in the stadium and you saw who came out. Definitely they could go with changes. I mean, as I mentioned there, the Down midfield is very good, so I'd be looking for Nicholas Murphy to start. Now, there's talk that there's not 70 minutes in him. Whether that's true or not, we don't know, but get him in there to start and start winning that primary possession and put Down on the back foot. Will Canty be right? There's talk now that Lynch is nearly there. I'd love to see Anthony win an All-Ireland. I soldiered with him for a number of years, but is it right to bring him in for a final? He has nothing done, but that's up to Coonan and his selectors. It's a big call. It's going to be a huge thing to play. Cadigan even is another guy who will come in and probably should come in, so they have a massive task ahead of them in picking the original 15 and then having the guys ready to come in as well.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, Joe, an interesting point this week about Anthony Lynch. He could be in contention to play in the final. It would be unbelievable if he does play any part at all, because he hasn't played at all this year, even in league or championship, because of that groin injury. I'm sure everyone would obviously love to see him play a part in the final. I mean, he's been on the losing side in 3 finals. You played alongside Anthony in 99. Do you think he's likely to play a part in 2 weeks' time, or is it just too big a risk?
Again, it's a big call, but I was down a train a couple of weeks ago before the semi-final, and I was speaking to Anthony, and he was actually very close to being right for the Dublin game. It's just that weekend that they played a game before that, he tweaked the hamstring, so that put him back, But so if he was close enough to it at that stage, he has another 4 weeks behind him by the time the final comes around. So, I mean, this guy has phenomenal experience, so might be a big risk to start him, but some corner forward doing a bit of damage. There's only one man that can come in and quieten them, that's Anthony Lynch.
Yeah, absolutely. And on Graham Canty, as you mentioned as well, Joe, we're assuming he'll play in 2 weeks' time. I mean, the message a couple of weeks back after the Dublin game from Dr. Con Murphy was that he would be okay. But it's hard to imagine that he'll be absolutely 100% fit. I mean, he's had a lot of injury trouble in the last few years, and especially in the last couple of weeks.
He has had, but I mean, again, when it comes to a final, it's up to Graham, I suppose, to put his hand up and say, is he 100% or not, because it's a massive occasion. But if he's anywhere near that, he will go out, because his heart will bring him through the rest of it, and I think Cork need him as their inspiration leader on the field on the day.
Yeah, no, just finally on 2 weeks' time, Joe, David Coldrick, the Meath referee, was appointed as referee for the final during the week. He did the 07 final as well, and did a pretty good job as far as I can remember. Now, I know we spoke a lot afterwards about Marty Duffy's performance in the final last year, and especially that incident with Nicholas Murphy and Ty Kennelly in the opening couple of seconds. It is hugely important, obviously, to have a strong referee for a game like this, because I'd imagine, it's going to start at an absolute huge pace.
There's going to be a massive pace hit to the game, and there's going to be hits going in all over. Let's just do a down play. I mean, people wouldn't have seen a lot of this down team, but if they can compare them to Tyrone, they get body behind the ball, they tackle strong, so it's going to be a ferocious start to it and a ferocious 70 minutes. So it's good to have the man in charge, a strong man in charge, and let's hope that it doesn't come down to anything like it did last week with the square ball incident, So let's just hope they can both go at it and get the best team win.
Yeah, no, Joe, the only previous meeting of Cork and Down, it was back in the 94 semi-final. Down had a 5-point win. There was a 21-year-old Joe Kavanagh in the full forward line for Cork that day as well, but obviously not one of your fonder memories of playing for Cork.
No, it was, we were beaten. There were 7 or 8 points up at one stage. It was a game that we went into with a lot of injuries, if I can recall now, and a collision of heads between Anthony Davis and Danny Culvey, and Danny going off, which was another blow to us. And we just made a faster, hungrier downside on the day who went on to win the All-Ireland. So, Cork were 4-1 for 2 weeks' time. This current crop are very like that. They have the same thing. They have good midfield. They have very fast forwards, and they tackle hard. So, it's kind of, this is the way down football is played, and here we are again, 16 years later, and they seem to be the same crop of guys.
Yeah, absolutely. No, just very finally, Joe, before I let you go, it's still 2 weeks to go until the big day, but I'm sure we'll talk to you again before then. But are you confident that Cork will do the business against Down?
I wouldn't be overly confident. Like, we were very confident last year going up against Kerry, and look what happened. That put Cork supporters kind of on the back foot. And the thing going for this team is that they had been in that final last year and 3 years ago, so they've tasted that defeat, and they've hurted from those defeats, so that might drive them on. But it's going to be one huge battle, and hopefully we can come through it. But we're thereabouts. It's going to be 50-50, as the saying goes. But it's well within Cork's grasp to take it.